Offensively, the Scout has his scattergun, the Heavy has his minigun, and what does the Medic have? His syringe gun. So why don't we sit down and have a discussion about all of his syringe guns? I would like to note that I am not the best Medic player, so you can take my opinions with the smallest amount of salt that you want to take with it. Aside from that, we can jump straight into this video. Before we hop into the meta, let's talk about the granddaddy of all these weapons, the original, the OG syringe gun. You would be very surprised how many times I had to rewrite the script for this single weapon. When I started actually gathering clips for this video, half of the time I was thinking, why use this when I could just use a crossbow? It's so much better. But after getting used to the arc and how effective it actually is at killing people, I started to love this so much more. Of course, the best time to use this weapon is when you're fleeing or flanking someone. It's rather effective if they don't know if you're coming, but you know, that's like the spy too. It's rather effective with its 11 to 14 damage per bolt, if you are up close or mid-range with the weapon. If not, the damage is kind of non-existent. Only reason I enjoy this weapon as much as I do is because of the idea of me killing, say, a 300 HP heavy with just fucking syringes. You know how fucking funny that is? Like, there's this big Russian man with a minigun, and he's like, la-di-da-di-da, I'm shoot you. And then I just come up and I'm like, no, you. And then I just unload my entire clip of syringes into his back. And once you know, he dies, and I'm over here laughing because there's all the syringes in his back. That's what you get for thinking about not turning around, Heavy. I love this weapon now more than ever, especially because I'm getting used to the arc and the damage of it. So now people don't expect me to whip this out and actually kill them with it. And it is one of the most funniest experiences I could ever have using this. I highly recommend using the syringe gun if you want to break from the crossbow. And speaking of the crossbow, so many people like this weapon, and it's very clear why people like it. With amazing ability to heal from a distance and to get uber from it, it seems like a complete and utter upgrade from the dinky little syringe gun. Of course, it's considered meta because you can also output such high damage with it and also help your team, so why not do that instead of using the syringe gun, which only protects yourself? Again, I use the syringe gun because it's funny to kill people with syringes, but I still see the upside of using the crossbow to help your team, which I occasionally use it if I want to help my team push, or if I want to get rid of a pesky sniper sightline, because I don't want to be headshot 3 times in a row. Also, when you get critical hits with this thing, it's just... Those are my general feelings about this medieval medical mystery, but on to the sausage syringe secondary. I'm gonna make this very simple for you. Everything I said about the syringe gun, multiply that by 10, and those are my feelings about the Sagger. This is genuinely my new favorite medic primary, and I can see why people like Array 7 use it, because oh my god, is it so much fun to use! The -2 HP downside doesn't really affect the medic, because he still has a 4 HP passive regen, so it's not even really that much of a downside when you literally get HP back also from hitting people with your Sagger. It is like the more serious cousin to the syringe gun, and even though it is technically more serious, I still find it funny that I can kill people with it with tiny little dinky syringes when they have bullets. I actually like this weapon so much, I'm gonna attempt to try to get an Australian one, because I want to look fancy as I inject people with my syringes. Overall, a very fun, unique weapon that definitely adds to the medic, but we're talking about something good here. Now, we're talking about something that's very, very underwhelming. Can you guess what it is? That's right, it's the Overdose. When it comes to the Overdose, compared to all the other secondary/primaries that we have, it is very, very underwhelming. The damage penalty of the weapon really does hinder it a lot, and the upside of more speed for the more uber you have is really, really non-existent when you actually use it in practice. My mythical opinion? I think you may want to just remove both of the stats and add some kind of new feature to it to make it into a more unique syringe gun. Maybe you could have it so that every time an enemy gets hit by a syringe, it adds a tick, and every 15 ticks, It will debuff the opponent by slowing down their speed and their attack speed, therefore making them go Overdose, or, keeping up with the name Overdose. The penalty for using the Overdose, though, will be the lower mag size. Instead of having 40 in your syringe gun, you will only have 30. So therefore, you can only get 2 ticks off in a full entire clip. And if you want to balance the weapon even more, you can make it even fire slower. So you won't be able to get off the stack as quickly as shooting a regular syringe gun. But that is just my personal opinion about the Overdose. If you love the weapon, good for you, keep using it. But I would like to see your guys' ideas on how to buff or change the Overdose into a better weapon down in the comments below. Honestly, I like the design of it too. I just want to see it buffed because then we would have the ability to use 4 syringe guns instead of using 3 syringe guns and maybe a 4th if we really wanted to use Overdose. Overall, Medic has some very reliable secondaries to help him in dangerous situations. Most of his weapons can be used effectively for both protection or support. Which syringe guns do you guys really like, and which ones would you like to see get a total revamp? If you have any ideas, please put in the comments below. I'm open for any open debates about rebalancing medic weapons or anything like that, because that's a lot of entertainment for both me and for you guys. Do you like injecting people with syringes? If so, you should like and subscribe for the next video, where we will focus on the best melee weapon to exist in Team Fortress 2. Aside from that, hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.